The Irish car market is changing beyond all recognition, and I suppose the way we view cars is too. Now, there are some really good alternatives out there to the standard petrol engine. Now, hybrid has been around for a while, but has never really taken a strong foothold in the Irish market. It's always been considered a bit too left field, and has always in the past been expensive. Lexus has a new hybrid and a new body style, the CT200H. Now, the CT is a 5-door hatchback that we've never seen from Lexus before. It aims to take on the likes of the BMW 1 Series and the Audi A3. Visually, the car is quite a departure from the traditional Lexus saloon, but it's a car they're hoping is going to bring younger buyers to the brand. But styling-wise, it might be just a little too bland. Unlike its rivals, this has a very clever trick up its sleeve. It uses a 1.8-litre petrol engine which gives you 98 horsepower. Combine that with the 60 kilowatt electric motor up front, that gives you a total of 134 horsepower. Now, it also has full electric mode, which will give you up to 2 kilometres of driving at speeds of up to 45 kilometres. So that means you can drive short distances on full electric mode. Now, it is a little bit eerie and weird, but when the petrol engine cuts in, it's very, very smooth and seamless, and it's very, very refined around town. When you get out onto the open roads and you put your foot down, there's not a massive delivery of power, but it's very smooth. Now, the CT200 has 4 different driving modes. It has EV mode, it has Eco mode, normal mode and sports mode. And when you're in EV mode, it's full electric power as long as you're under 45 kilometers an hour and there's charge in the battery. When the petrol engine kicks in, you're then in normal mode. You can then revert to sports mode, which tightens up the suspension and the steering and also uses the electric motor up front to give you added power. When you're driving this car in normal mode, what you have over here on the left-hand side of the display, it tells you, are you charging the batteries, are you driving in eco mode or using the power mode? But when you turn it into sports mode, it changes in front of your eyes into a rev counter. I love that. I love this little joystick as well that Lexus give us down here to use all of the functions of the car. It's just so easy to use. But what I find most incredible about this car is, if driven correctly, the fuel economy figures are astounding. You can do 100 kilometers on just 3.6 litres of fuel. Now, that adds up to about 74 miles per gallon. Now, we're always on about CO2 emissions these days as well with cars. Well, this one kicks out just 87 grams per kilometre, which actually makes it one of the cleanest engines around. Now, this car does many, many clever things. Because I'm not accelerating, I'm actually generating power. I'm putting power back into those batteries at the back. When I accelerate slightly, I'm now using that power I've generated to drive the wheels. And if I accelerate even harder, what I'm doing is I'm using the engine, which is the 1.8-litre engine, and the battery power. I do really like the way this car handles. It's really assured on the road, but you do pay a price for that. Because the suspension is quite firm in this car, every time you hit a bump, at lower speeds especially, you really feel it. It shudders through the car and right up your back. Now, one thing I did find difficult with this Lexus was to find the ideal driving position. It took me just a little while to get everything right. There's lots of different adjustments to be had on the seat and also on the steering wheel as well. But once I found that position, I'm very comfortable. With such low emissions, it puts this car in tax band A, which means you're just going to pay €104 per year to tax this. Now, you couple that with the great fuel economy as well, you're looking at a car that's going to be relatively cheap to run. There are 4 different grades with the CT200H, starting off with the Eco model at just under €28,500. Now, you still get lots of extras with that one. You get 15-inch alloy wheels, you get Bluetooth for your phone, and you get climate control. And that climbs all the way up to the executive model, which is the one we have here, which comes with extras like leather seats, cruise control, a parking camera, and a wooden dash. And all of that for just over €32,000.